Hello, my dear students. In this video presentation, I will explain you what novel coronavirus does to the human body. I am Professor Jayashree Jagtap from PDS Set Govinda Raghunath Sabre College of Pharmacy, Saswad. Let's see how novel coronavirus enters into human cell. We all know that viruses are dead until and unless it will not get support of host. Viruses must enter this host cell to replicate in order to show its pathogenicity. Mechanism involves receptor-mediated endocytosis. It involves these three steps: interaction of virus S protein with ACE2, merging of viral S protein with host cell, then release of viral genome into host cell, followed by replication and assembly formation and exocytosis. This novel coronavirus enters into human cell via ACE2 receptor present in epithelial cell, the same receptor involved in SARS infection. As per data, ACE2 expressed in all body organs. And to gain entry into host cell, first this spike protein has to be activated using serine protease, that is TMPRSS2, present in host cell. After activation, it starts attaching to ACE2 protein. This process takes place at acidic pH. It induces a change in conformation of viral S protein such that it is proteolytically cleaved and activated by other proteases such as cathepsins, furin, trypsin enzymes. TMPRSS2 serine protease along with ACE2 is expressed in different types of lung tissues and increasing their susceptibility for novel coronavirus infection. The functional spike protein, which contains three subunits, this S1, S2 and S2' subunit. This subunit, it is known as receptor binding domain. Here the spike protein bind to the host cell. S2 subunit, it facilitate the merging of the spike protein with the host cell. And S2 dash, this is the furin cleavage site. And the host, this furin, it is very essential to this site must be cleaved for the fusion of the spike protein with the ACE2 receptor. Following receptor interaction, different host proteases can activate the virus host cell membrane fusion for subsequent genome entry. After binding of pathogens, S protein with ACE2 envelope protein start merging with the phospholipid bilayer membrane and release the viral genome. Once viral S protein merged with the human, it releases its nucleocapsid and viral genome. It hijacks the host cell machinery and undergo replication, assembly formation and releases from the cells to infect other cells. Here COVID-19 is highly contagious than SARS, and the reason may be because of high affinity of the spike S protein with ACE2 receptor and also presence of an additional furin cleavage site which is absent in SARS coronavirus 1. Let's see mechanism of novel coronavirus infection. Symptoms of novel coronavirus infection, that is COVID-19, associated with downregulation of protective angiotensin converting enzyme 2, that is ACE2, and overexpression of immune system, commonly known as cytokine storm. In this video, I will explain you in detail about the downregulation of ACE2 and COVID-19 disease. Let's see downregulation of ACE2 and COVID-19 disease. Decrease in blood flow to the kidney activates RAS, that is renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, by secretion of renin enzyme from kidney, which converts angiotensinogen secreted from liver to angiotensin 1. ACE catalyzes conversion of angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 binds to two different receptors, angiotensin type 1, that is AT1R, angiotensin type 2, that is AT2R receptors, and shows different effect via these two receptors. Angiotensin 2 is a potent vasoconstrictor via an AT1R receptor binding, which leads to increased blood pressure and also result in a cascade of inflammation, vasoconstriction, the promotion of atherosclerosis, pulmonary damage by edema, increasing membrane permeability, cardiac dysfunction. Further, these events can also lead to insulin resistance and thrombosis. Angiotensin 2, which stimulates the secretion of aldosterone from adrenal gland, and which leads to increase in blood flow and blood pressure by increasing retention of water and sodium in the kidney. Whereas binding of angiotensin 2 to AT2R has opposing, that is protective effects, leads to vasodilation, reduced thrombosis, fibrosis, inflammation, pulmonary damage, and enhanced insulin activity. ACE2 catalyzes conversion of angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 1,7 via angiotensin 1,9. Angiotensin 1,7 has a cell protective effect by binding to AT2R receptor and MAS receptor. Thus, the novel coronavirus that causes this COVID-19, it utilizes this ACE2 to gain entry into the respiratory cell. When novel coronavirus binds to this ACE2, the activity of ACE2 is downregulated, preventing its normal function, leading to respiratory symptoms of cough and edema, as well as upregulation of angiotensin 2. However, expression of this AT2R is relatively low in normal healthy adults. Thus, the cell protective effect of this angiotensin 2 are mediated by this ACE2 enzyme, and novel coronavirus infection tend to reduce this ACE2 expression and upregulation of angiotensin 2. In addition to the overexpression of immune system, ACE2 downregulation and the imbalance between the RAS and ACE2, angiotensin 1,7 MAS receptor activity after infection may also COVID-19 disease. Let's see how COVID-19 affects human body. For some people, basic flu-like symptoms start, but it could eventually affect patients' lung, liver, kidney, and even brain. And the person having other comorbidities are highly susceptible and develop severe symptoms. Let's see how. Once the virus enters the body, it usually settles in the cells and that lines nose, sinus cavity, and throat. For most people, symptoms often follow within 1 to 3 days after infection, but some people may not feel anything for up to 2 weeks. As the virus starts to enter in a healthy cells and reproduce, however, they can transmit it to others even if they don't show any symptoms. This is nothing but incubation period. About 80% patients show mild symptoms or maybe asymptomatic and resemble the flu. Symptoms include sore throat, dry cough. It is a reflux reaction expels rapidly from lungs to clear irritants from airways. Also nausea and low grade fever. Here body temperature rises for to disable heat sensitive viruses when the hypothalamus receives signals from immune system. Gastrointestinal symptoms may be due to excessive intestinal inflammation, can cause vomiting. It is a reflux contraction of diaphragm and abdominal muscles, empties the stomach contents via the mouth, ridding the body of toxins. Diarrhea. It is due to the inability to absorb fluid. The intestines bowel movements became watery and also abdominal pain. Usually mild symptoms can be managed at home. However, 50% patients develop moderate to severe symptoms. If patient's immune system unable to eliminate COVID-19 in the first week, the virus may move down into lungs. Fluid and mucus build up in the lungs and make it harder to get oxygen to the blood. It causes shortness of breath, as the virus reduces lung capacity and may develop into acute respiratory distress syndrome, that is ARDS. In ARDS, pneumonia gets worse quickly and body response can damage lungs more. Oxygen levels in blood get dangerously low and the patient probably need a ventilator. Cytokines level get high, that immune cells start to attack healthy tissues. It can cause low blood pressure, organ failure and the blood vessel damage. Sometimes skin rashes may be common in severely ill patients because of blood vessels blockage in the skin. These blood vessel blockages are caused by body's immune system trying to fight the virus and are caused not by the virus itself but by the immune response to the virus. Also, some patients may experience muscle or joint pain and due to inflammatory response. Most people recover in a 1 to 2 weeks, but it can take longer period also. This can 4 to 9 days or in some patients between 8 to 15 days. At this stage, start treatment at home but need hospitalization later. However, about 5% patients are critical in stage. At this stage, infection spreads in blood and overexpressed immune response to viral infection leads to sepsis and dangerous drop in BP known as septic shock. May develop between 8 to 15 days. Also causes heart issues such as heart inflammation, arrhythmias, cardiomyopathy, heart attack in those who are seriously ill or patients with cardiovascular disease or other underlying conditions. Aside from heart disease, it can also cause blood clots that can lead to stroke or pulmonary embolism. In brain, excessive immune response cause problems of blood clots triggering stroke in brain. Symptoms depends on the region affected. Kidneys damage in severe patient is common because of medication, misfiring immune system, low BP. Patient recover through treatment but sometimes may require dialysis also. At this critical stage, need hospitalization and ICU care. Crucial period of COVID-19 may last by 3 weeks on an average for 21 days with people either dying between 15 to 22 days from onset of symptoms due to multi-organ failure, inflammation or septic shock or being discharged between 18 to 25 days from the onset of symptoms. Post-viral fatigue may experience in patients. Infection often lead to long-term fatigue and weakness, maybe because of extra utilization of energy by immune system or body to fight against viral infection. Let's see COVID-19 highlights. Let's see why some patients are asymptomatic. This may be due to gene expression alterations in immune system, childhood vaccination. ACE2 receptors are expressed differently as people age. 80% or more silent carriers showing no or very mild symptoms. Children and young healthy peoples are more likely to be asymptomatic and may be due to strong immunity. Who's at risk? COVID-19 symptoms can vary widely. Some people have no symptoms at all, while others become so sick that they eventually need mechanical assistance to breathe. Maybe due to variation in immune response and ACE2 genomic variation may alter the susceptibility of receptors towards viral infection. The risk of developing dangerous symptoms of COVID-19 may be increased in people who are older and also in people of any age who have other serious health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, obesity, or lung diseases, weakened immune systems, cancer, and other blood disorders such as sickle cell anemia, thalassemia. Also, chronic kidney or liver diseases increase the risk of COVID-19. Women are less likely to get worse symptoms than men of COVID-19. This may be due to difference in immune system. Female sex hormone estrogen is thought to regulate immune response, ensuring that immune cells respond proportionately and preventing overreactions to infections. The scientists also found that the X chromosome carries the most immune-related genes, and women have two X chromosomes while men only have one, which might contribute to women's strong immune response. Also, men are also likely to smoke than women, and smoking weakens immune system. Let's say infections and transmission among children. While children infected with novel coronavirus are less likely to develop severe illness compared with adults, children are still at risk of developing severe illness and complications from COVID-19. It is unclear whether children are as susceptible to infection by novel coronavirus compared with adults, and whether they can transmit the virus as effectively as adults. Recent evidence suggests that children likely have the same or higher viral load in their nasopharynx compared with the adults. If you like this video presentation, click on like and subscribe. Thank you.